Jay was speaking. Well, what we got to do first is we have to talk to Daddy and borrow some of his tools. Then we'll go to see old Estes Kaiser. I heard tell he might be German. If that message was in German, he could maybe help us. After that, we go back and check on the box. He had been thinking about that box all through church and dinner and had the next day's plan all worked out. Secure in his own understanding of the plan, Wayne rejoined his two younger brothers in bed number 2. Soon the sleeping noises filled the room.
Wes's pet chicken, old Roundhead, woke them up the next morning with a pretty good imitation of a woodpecker as he pecked staccato style on the window pane near Jay's head. Jay bolted upright at the sound of this racket. "Wes, that dang chicken is going to get it one of these days if he don't stop scaring the fool out of me in the morning." Jay growled. "Oh, Jay, old Roundhead doesn't mean to scare you. He just wants me to come outside and push him around in the little wheelbarrow. You know he's not right, so give him a little slack, please," pled Wes. "Well, I guess we'd better get to moving," said Jay. "Hey, Wayne, wake up," he yelled across to the other bed. Too late. Wayne and his bed partners were already taking their places at the breakfast table. Jay and Wes had to catch up. "Morning, boys," said Daddy. "Y'all got a big day ahead of you?" Now, this is just the kind of trick question that parents like to ask when they have something they want you to do. Knowing this trap all too well, Jay responded with a non-committal answer, something like, "Yeah, we've promised to do a couple of things down near Lick Creek. Now, if you don't mind, we'd like to borrow some of your tools." Jay surprised himself by asking this. He figured they would just borrow them without asking, as long as he made sure they put them back. Daddy pondered on Jay's request for a moment, and then he said, "Well, I reckon if you're man enough to ask, then you're man enough to put them back when you're done. Go ahead, take what you need." Boy, this day was turning out better all the time. After the blessing, the food passing started around the table. Our chickens were not laying many eggs due to the changing weather. So when the egg platter came around, it was understood that we only were allowed half of an egg until egg production returned to normal. When Jay started working at the mill, he graduated to a whole egg like Daddy because he was a-working. For now, though, he too was allowed only a half. All in all, the half egg with buttered biscuits and milk gravy made for a surprisingly good morning meal. "Can we go and work on our project now?" Jay asked. Now, this request was directed mainly toward Mama, since she had dominion over the kids during the day. Daddy looked at Mama. Mama looked back. And then she gave Jay a nod of approval. "Go on, get out of here, you boys," she said, and took a loving swing at them with a dish towel as they made their hasty exit. Wayne was last to leave. He was slowed down a little bit because he took one more look at his plate to assure himself he had sopped it clean with the last pinch of the last biscuit that he'd eaten. More to himself than the others, Jay said, "Well, we'll need a claw hammer, a hatchet, a handsaw, and a screwdriver." "How about some rope?" Wayne asked. Then Wes chimed in, "You think we might need a hacksaw?" "Hey, hacksaw's a great idea," said Jay. "How about some rope?" Wayne asked for a second time. "And a pair of pliers? We'll need them," Jay said. "How about some rope?" shouted Wayne for the third time. "Rope?" Jay said, finally listening to Wayne. Yeah, we'll need some rope." All of this was high-level decision-making. They gathered up the tools, and Jay gave the tool sermon to his younger brothers as it had many times been given to him. "Now, Daddy says you should always use the right tool for the right job, and when you are through with the tool, you should put it back in the tool shed where you got it. If you are using the tools away from the tool shed, always lay the tools out on a blanket or cloth to keep the tools together. until you can return them back to the shed. We need to roll these towels up in a blanket." The boys made their way out back of the house by the dog pen, chicken coop, and combination feed barn, and tool shed. "Get that blanket the dogs have been using, Wes," Jay called out. Wes said, "I ain't going back into that old dog pen. Last time I went in there, old Buck tried to eat my thumb off." Wayne went into the dog pen without waiting for his order, entered, and quickly fetched the blanket. As he gave the tools to Wes, he gave him a look like, "What's the big deal?" They rolled the tools up in the blanket. "Okay, let's go see Estes Kaiser," said Jay. When Mr. Kaiser's doorbell rang, he never expected to see these three young boys standing more or less at attention on his front porch. He opened the door cautiously. "Hello, Mr. Kaiser. My name is J.M. Poole. They call me Jay. And these are my two younger brothers, Wes and Wayne. Mr. Kaiser, we have something written down that is not in English, and we just thought that you might be able to help us with it," said Jay as he introduced the group and their problem all at once. "Why would you think I could help?" said Mr. Kaiser. "Well, we are guessing it is German, and we thought that, you might be able to read it since your last name is Kaiser," said Jay. "Well, this is your lucky days, boys. I'm not German, but I can read German text," Mr. Kaiser said. "Show me your mystery message." Jay brought out the bark remnant he had kept and hidden till now. Estes Kaiser looked at the bark and struggled with the charcoal scribbled block letters. He walked to the edge of the porch to get better light. Jay had kept the bark inserted partially into his pants. Much of the charcoal transferred directly to his stomach. His belly button provided additional punctuation. Estes gave the bark his undivided attention, and suddenly he shouted, "Aha! It says, 'Do not open until Christmas, 1941. Yeah, that's what it says." The boys just stood there with their mouths open. This development was definitely unexpected. "Okay, Mr. Kaiser, well, thank you very much for your time," said Jay. He was trying to back out of there before more questions came. "Say, where did you boys come upon that message?" said Mr. Kaiser. "Oh, it was just a school project that didn't get completed before they let school out," Jay lied. "They said their goodbyes and lit out for Lick Creek and a big dirty pile of leaves, dirt, stick, and cow poop."